the state is incredibly supportive, and we don't need federal permitting until we get into much bigger plans, which again I'll talk about later. We're production ready. We're just waiting for air quality. There's always some permitting maintenance and permitting activity to do, right? For us, it's not consequential about going into production. For example, there's a lot of hoopla about a July 7th meeting where we're just asking to expand our ability to explore, exploration drill more in Story County, right? We're on the verge of getting approval for 23 acres of exploration disturbance in Lyon County. That's just all normal maintenance, has nothing to do with us getting into production. All right, but you wouldn't understand that if you hear what some of the residents are saying, right? And I want to talk about that just a bit before we conclude this page. I don't know that you can see this very well, but this is the same map of our 6,000 acres. This is our starter mining area. This is American Flats, where our offices are, and we've just expanded our offices. And for those of you who love the purple plum mine building, it's not purple anymore, I'm sorry. I think it looks a lot better now. Right, but we've got at least double that square footage as we're building our team there, and our permitted area looks something like this. So we have no obstacles about getting into production. The east side is where we've been getting some incredible drilling results, 27 out of 27 hits, including very, very high grade. The Dayton is where we have 200,000 ounces, less than 200 feet. We've drilled up to 900,000 feet. We're hitting every single hole, 41 out of 42. But that's where Silver City is, right? Silver City has less than 200 people, and that's where a little bit of anxiety was created. Everyone has to appreciate Lyon County has a population of over 50,000 people, 29,000 registered voters. We have overwhelming support, right, from the business community, from the political community, right? And we're extremely sensitive about being nearer to residents, right? And that's what, you know, the discussion across the street is all about. We care very deeply about the community. In Doug's presentation, you'll see that we understand that historically miners weren't always good corporate citizens. Frankly, I think that's changed dramatically when you look at what some of Eric and Newmont's programs are. But we're different, right? We're the Comstock. We're not a major, right? And we're paying a lot of attention to it. Story County is much bigger part of who we are, where we're already permitted. Very, very strong support. The county seat is right here. The county seat for Lyon County is in Yerington, far, far away. The county seat is right here in our backyard. We know these people on a first-name basis every day. We're permitted, and I think Lyon County today is like one of the poorest counties in the nation, if not the third or fourth poorest county in the nation. So we believe we're going to do some very, very good things to restore some of these old mills, restore the district. And we frankly think it's glorious. It sounds corny, but that's how we feel. So we want to put all that in context to make sure people understand, A, that we care, and B, that we're in a fantastic position. The near-term production is robust because of the low strip ratios and because of the near-surface minerals. Our cost structure is very, very low. We will have a cost structure that compares with some of those mega operations, those high-volume operations, even though we're starting off at a very, very modest scale. You're going to hear detail from Larry and Mike about all that's coming. But, frankly, guys, it's already coming. We're hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. We could not be happier with the drilling that's occurred from August until May, right? And now we've diversified ourselves. We do have exploration skills. We've always had that. Now we have mine development added on to the existing expertise. We have operations. We have permitting. And we have a very disciplined project management and financial view. We schedule everything out by the week, and we update ourselves every week. And I think the problem with some of the best people in the industry is they go like this, right? They love every project. They try to do everything, right? 20 projects, let's go, right? And somewhere partway through, everybody runs out of money. We go like this. We're very focused and very aligned. I know it's not sexy all the time, right? To talk about 3.25 million ounces in production, to us, it's very sexy, right? Because once we get that, then we get to the next thing, all right? And that's really our philosophy, right? We've got an incredibly well-capitalized situation now. I think we have the best capital base of any company that I compare. We know it's a little different, but it's well-controlled and extremely stable, and it's transparent. So my last slide, I'm using in every single one of my presentations. I saw Frank Holmes of U.S. Global Investors present in Vancouver, right? And he said, when do you want to invest in a mine company, right? You know, when they're having an initial discovery out in the middle of nowhere, for sure, there's a lot of excitement that happens there. You got to be really speculative. You got tremendous risk, but you could have some pop. But then reality kicks in. And then everybody realizes how much money and how much time it's going to take to actually make that first gold pour. And investors are usually very grumpy, like in that time period, right? So I came in here, most of the grump was behind us, although I still got some of the frontal face of it. But we started talking about this, not in terms of stock price, in terms of going into production, okay? And we really believe, and we really see this with any rational comp that you use, that we're at a valuation point right now. We're listed on New York. We can attract the best investors now. The Canadians wouldn't even invest in us from being on the bulletin board. They said, we love your asset, we kind of like you. No, we don't like the bulletin board. Okay, and that's sincere, right? Now, they can. Now, the American bigger funds can, right? But we're going to issue a new technical report in August, and guess what? The resource is going to grow a lot, right? And guess what? We're going to go into production thereafter, and cash is going to grow a lot, right? And then the value of the stock is going to go up. But the thing that we appreciate most about the people in this room is that they aren't traders. You guys aren't traders. Some of you probably are traders, but most of you are not traders, right? You're long-term investors who want to see this thing succeed because you believe that if you compare us to a Frontier or some of these other guys, well, hey, what Corrado and John are talking about is worth billions, not millions. Okay, that's what you believe, and you'd like to see some or most of that. Okay, it's coming now. It's a lot of hard work. There's still a lot of complexities. It's not a layup. If it's a layup, it would have been done, you know, in 2004. Right? It's not a layup. It takes a lot of maintenance. It takes a lot of investment. It takes good people, and that's what I just want to close off on. Right? You know, I'm going to say something that's going to sound like common sense, but it's just not common in the world. If you hire a person who lives for exploring, and no matter what you do to the guy, he's going to go dig a hole in his backyard if you try to cage him. He's an explorer. He's a hunter. Okay? If you hire a guy who's a builder, he wants to produce. He wants to operate. Okay? You hire a guy who likes to plan and build models. Then people come to work every day just doing what they want to do. Okay? And then if you get everybody agreeing that to get to a certain point the same way, you have something special. It sounds like common sense. It sounds, but it's not common. I don't see it in the world. Right? You don't want to be sumo wrestling with your peers. You want to be running a race in the same, you know, side by side. So I'm sure that Bill Belichick doesn't have to convince Tom Brady every day, hey, put on those cleats, put on those shoulder pads, you were born to be a quarterback, forget about your girlfriend. Maybe now he has to start saying that. But up until now, that guy just lives to play quarterback, right? So we got guys you're going to meet today that are just going to be themselves, or a guy who cares about safety. His whole life, the only thing he's done is try to protect people from hurting themselves, right? You get that kind of group together, right? For sure my job becomes easy. So what is my job? Make sure that we have a goal, make sure that we have a project scheduled, make sure it's staffed with the right people, and then let them do their job. That's it. And then communicate with investors forever, every day, 20 calls a day. Just so people understand what we're doing. Because a keen investor, we define a keen investor who is one who understands our method of wealth creation. They understand it's not a flip. They understand it's not a quick trade. They believe that if you do X, you will be worth Y. And we'll wait till you see Y. That's our philosophy. Right. So what time do we have?
10.
Excellent. So the first trolley will board at 10:30, so people can just take a break, grab something to drink. There